John, we were snowed off again, Sunday gone against Hunslet. We're going to go again this Sunday, also against Hunslet, this time in the league.
Yeah, so it's a different competition and a different venue, obviously, because we're welcoming Hunslet to Odsel. So there's a slight change in that, but obviously the personnel won't change that much. And so our prep, we feel quite comfortable with it. We've done a bit extra this week, which the extra time's afforded us. But in all honesty, I'd have preferred to have played last week and prevent this slight build-up that we've got over the next couple of weeks of 4 games.
I mean, in terms of your preparations for this game, I mean, how much does these postponements affect the momentum and continuity, do you feel?
I think it's done it for every club, in all honesty, in the country. I mean, Super League, similarly so. There's been clubs there who've had 1 or 2 games postponed or abandoned. We've been unfortunate in that we lost the London Scholars game, which should have been our first home game of the season. Then we've lost the cup game. So it's made it a bit disjointed. It's lacked continuity, but you know, we live in England, and this is what the weather's like in the north of England, and we've just got to get on with it, do as best we can, and we certainly won't let it negatively affect us.
And what that means now is we've got 4 games in a fortnight. It's going to put a bit of pressure on the squad.
Well, in all honesty, I think that's a plus point for us. There aren't many League One squads with the numbers that we've got here at the Bulls. There aren't many League One squads with the quality in numbers that we've got here at the Bulls. So, you know, you could argue that's played into our hands a little, but we've still got 4 really tough games. With 4 games coming up in quick succession, and with 4 games where we really need to put our best foot forward, because Hunslet are more than capable of beating us. Oldham are more than capable of beating us, as are Workington. So we've got to be ready, prepared, willing and able to play every minute of every game.
Just focusing on Sunday's game at Odsel, the first league game of the season at Odsel. Gary Thornton's side, John, they won the League One Shield last year. They're currently undefeated, the same as the Bulls. It promises to be a real tough encounter. It
will be tough. I mean, I think Hunslet are undefeated for longer than us here at the Bulls, because they go back a number of games, I believe, in the previous season. So they've got a cracking unbeaten run going on. But, you know, they're coming to Betfred. And as I say, we've got a good squad. We will be primed and ready to play come Sunday. And I'm just hoping that it's, you know, the heavens don't open, the snow doesn't pour, and etc. And the fog doesn't come down. We just want a nice, clear, dry day where we can all actually go there, be comfortable, and the fans can watch a rugby league game and the players can play a rugby league game.
In terms of team selection, is this the game where Dane Chisholm potentially starts, or are you going to keep faith in young Brandon?
Well, Brandon's done great. I think I said to you that he's been my star man, in all honesty, of all the pre-season training and games and during the season. And it's been a bonus ball for the Bulls as this kid. I have utmost faith and confidence in him. And again, we've mulled over it long and hard. But the thing is, you've mentioned the 4 games. Obviously, at some stage, Dane will feature for the full 80. But I'm also sure at some stage that Brandon will feature for the full 80. So, you know, we'll keep Hunslet guessing, we'll keep Oldham guessing, and we'll keep Workington guessing.
And obviously, those players that perhaps aren't quite in your first 19-man squad thoughts at this moment in time, they've got a chance to excel and shine in the reserves fixture against Wigan at Dudley Hill.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, that's what I've put now. I've said that to them, Mick. I've said, you guys, if you want to feature in 1 or 2 of these 4 games, you've got to put your hand up on Thursday night against what will be a very good Wigan reserve side. They've got to put their hands up, show they can handle that quality of player in the opposition, show that they can be intense, maintain concentration, do the process of rugby league well. Should they do that, they'll give themselves a great chance of some appearances over this coming fortnight.
And obviously one way of perhaps dealing with disappointment of not getting in the first team, your first team thoughts, is by putting in a eye-catching performance.
Too right. And also showing that you can cope with the quality of opposition. You know, if you look, there's Josh Ganson going to be playing hooker. We've got ex-England Academy halfbacks who are playing for Wigan. There's a lad called Liam Forsyth who I think's he's got 9-10 Super League games under his belt. So they're a good team, and they will test our strength in depth, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how we respond to that test.
It was announced at the start of the week that Jordan Andrade, Harvey Burnett and Dan King have all been signed on following a successful trial. What's pleased you about the trio? Well,
their attitude and application. I mean, in all honesty, those two things are what got them the contract. Everybody knew that they were good rugby league players because you've only to reference where they've played and who they've played for and speak to people there. But what you don't get is the sense of what type of people they are unless you work with them day in, day out. And I can tell you they're good people. And good people are welcome here at Hunslet, and good people will add to the culture and what we're trying to build here at Hunslet. And obviously, running a reserve team allows you to have a big squad, and that's exactly one of the benefits that we've got from that. People can come trial. If they impress us with attitude and application, they'll get a shot. Obviously initially in the reserves, but then it's up to them to prove they're good enough to force their way into the first team.
And what's been the reaction from the trio, John? I'm guessing they're over the moon and absolutely delighted to be given an opportunity to be a part of something special here at the Bradford Bulls.
Very much so, yeah. I think that's you've just called it there, in all honesty, that they're excited by the start of the rebirth, the new journey that we're beginning, and just as I am and the other coaches are, just as the other players are, the senior players. So yeah, they've jumped on the bus, and I hope they enjoy the ride.
You're coming close to 100 days, John, in charge at the Bradford Bulls. Just tell the listeners and the viewers some of the challenges that you've come up against and how you feel things are going.
Well, I feel things have gone really well, to tell the truth, and I didn't realise there was 100 days. We certainly haven't played 100 matches, I can tell you that, because they've been few and far between of competitive games. I've just enjoyed every minute of it, and what has been brought home to me is the size of the club, the potential of the club, and the fantastic fan base of the club. And you ally that with the fact that you can bring players to Bradford on the back of the facilities here at Ton and on the back of what we're hoping to achieve in the future. So it's just been absolutely marvellous. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. It's been a 9 out of 10 job for me personally up to now, so let's hope it continues that way for the rest of the 3 years.
The League One sides, John, they had quite a successful Challenge Cup last weekend. You had York beating Swinton, you had Workington pushing London all the way. I mean, that shows you that League One is in good health.
You've had Oldham beating Halifax as well, which was a pretty decent result, and there was another one as well, wasn't there? But I've often, I've sat with my missus at home as I've been watching games. You try to research opposition, etc. And obviously, because of my experience, I'm aware of the Standard Super League, the Championship, and I'm getting to know the Standard League One. I'm pretty certain the top 6 or 8 clubs of League One are more than capable of beating any of the bottom 8 of the Championship. I'm absolutely adamant about that, and I think that's been shown to be true in what we've seen in the Challenge Cup up to now. Whether a League One club can beat a Super League club, we'll wait and see if we beat Hunslet, and then we'll have that as a challenge, won't we, down the line?
I just remembered the other result. It was Whitehaven who beat Dewsbury
yes.
up at the Rec. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to come on to that next, John. Obviously, a lot of excitement amongst the fan base of a potential trip to Warrington in the 5th round, but you won't allow complacency to creep in, and the task is firmly going to be on beating Hunslet at Hunslet on Sunday, then focusing on the Good Friday game at Oldham, and then it will be the Easter Monday fixture at the South Leeds Stadium against Hunslet.
That's correct, yes, and as you rightly say, we're doing the Kenny Dalglish, we're doing one game at a time, but you know full well the players are excited. When we trained, they were having sort of the after-match food, and when the draw came out, there was a massive sort of bubble of excitement, except where I was, because obviously they went to the old Kenny Dalglish and, well, we've got to do this first, and I was pleased that they pulled it back, but you could sense the players would be really excited about going to a top Super League club with top facilities and playing against some great players. So, but that's well down in the future. And as I say, all I'm concerned about at the minute is Hunslet on Sunday in the league and a possible 2 points for the Bradford Bulls.
Do you see such a prestigious tie on the horizon, John, as a distraction?
No, not at all. No, I see it as in all honesty, I see it as something very positive. I see it as a reward for maintaining good form. And then, should we get there, I see it as a free hit, because nobody's expecting anything of us. Warrington will be firm favourites, so we can just go out there with our bat and pads and try to knock a few sixes, can't we?
And just finally, John, will we see Jake Butler-Fleming have a bit of involvement in Sunday's game against Hunslet?
You'll certainly see him over the next 4 games, whether it's Sunday. Turn up at Odsal on Sunday, 3 o'clock, and you'll find out.
Thank you very much, John.